It's the end of the day, you had a super long day, you're exhausted, so you think, oh, finally I can relax a little. You sit down on your couch or maybe on your bed, you pull out your phone, you open social media, and before you know it, it's 2 a.m. and you're still tired, you're mad at yourself, you know that you're not gonna get much sleep because you need to wake up early to have another full day tomorrow, and you wonder, why did I do this again? Or maybe it's the morning and you just sat down to finally get work done, but your brain goes, let's check my email a little bit first, or let's just do 5 minutes of Instagram just so I can get my brain ready. And before you know it, 40 minutes goes by, now you're late for a meeting, you didn't fully prepare, you're almost about to miss a deadline, your anxiety spikes, and you're blowing it. Or maybe even worse, it's evening, you want to be present with your family or with your loved one, and you sit down, you maybe start chatting, and before you know it, you look up and everybody is on their phones, maybe replying to texts or watching videos, and you wonder, what even happened? What did we even talk about? Why were we all on our phones? We were supposed to spend quality time together. If any of these sound familiar, well, you're not alone. Thousands, millions of people experience these situations on a daily basis. The average adult time, only phone, is 6 hours a day. Most of that time is spent on social media, not working, not doing something productive, but consuming content. Hi, my name's Ondra. I'm the RoboHumanist. I'm the creator of the RoboHumanist movement and the CADE acronym and the Anti-CADE protocols. And today, I want to talk to you about how you can protect yourself better from the negative impacts of technology, how was my journey, and how I ended up getting more control over it, especially if you are a busy professional, you work on other side projects, you are an entrepreneur, and you want to use technology in boosting your productivity and in getting all of the amazing benefits that social media and other types of technology on our phones or on our laptops or computers can give us. You don't want to fully give it up, but at the same time, you don't want to make that big trade-off anymore. Then this video and these protocols are exactly for you. You see, I developed the RoboHumanist ideas back in 2020 because I had a unique combination of studying software engineering and the brain and neuroscience and psychology since a very young age, since about 13 years old, because I had severe depression and anxiety, and I Googled how to be happy. I got exposed to the world of self-education and personal growth, and I got obsessed. And since then, I've been studying both of these, and then I was able to combine them both together, okay? So for the past about 3.5 years, 5 years, in total, for the past about 3.5 years, I've been doing this full time, helping people with anxiety, habits, sometimes addictions as well, every now and then, and really just taking more control and improving their lives when it comes to their mental health, their productivity, and starting businesses, starting projects, and things like that, right? Now, during this time, I've traveled to more than 20 countries. I've hosted events on 4 continents. I've spoken on stages on 3 continents, in small events, in bigger events. And it's been an incredible journey. And during this time, social media has been the biggest, secret or cause of my success, because I started making videos when I was 19 years old to share my story about dealing with anxiety and depression, because I wanted to start helping other people. And that turned into a business, and that turned into travel opportunities, into sponsorships, into clients, and all of that happened online. So I had an amazing time. I'm super grateful for social media because it gave me so many opportunities. I met some of the best people, some of my best friends through social media or through online communities. I've flown out to different countries to meet these people and had the best times ever. So social media and technology has given me everything, even from Googling how to be happy when I was so young, and discovering videos on YouTube and things like that. So it's giving me so much, but it's also taking so much away from me. because I've been addicted to porn and watching videos and gameplays and maybe self-improvement videos a little bit too much, overdoing it as we all sometimes do, and doing this kind of active, justified procrastination. And I ended up spending hours and hours and hours per day and per week on social media, and it got to the point where my brain was so overstimulated and so jacked that I stopped caring about traveling. I stopped caring about my business. I was always annoyed with my partner, and I had to I was like, this needs to stop because my business is going to crash. I'm not going to be able to help as many people as I want. I'm not enjoying my life. It's getting super hard to work. All my brain really wants to do is just keep watching videos, and it's really awful. It got really, really bad for me, and that's why I went on this big journey to figure it out and to apply the RoboHumanist principles that I was already using, but just modify them and improve them and put them together so that I can use this to overcome this part of my life and figure out, okay, how can I keep the benefits while getting rid of the negatives, right? And so I was kind of aware of this for many years, and I only kind of saw it as like a bad habit, that it's not so good for me, but at the same time it's not that bad, so it's not that serious. So I could actually operate in a normal way, and I came up with this unhealthy versus unhealthy scale, right? Like a balancing scale of using social media. So I tried my best to stick to the only healthy side, which is, I like to think about it as active, right? When you're posting on social media, you're commenting good stuff and you're engaging with people, you're DMing people, you're making connections, you're building relationships. And that's why you can be very active, and it's healthy. It's very, very healthy for you. By the way, if you're consuming content in the active way, let me add this here, is you take notes, right? So if you're watching this now to learn, then you should be taking notes on these protocols and what I'm talking about and what I'm about to share, and also what I already shared, because otherwise your brain isn't going to fully retain it and you won't be able to apply it. And then it becomes just another form of cheap entertainment that you maybe use to make yourself feel a little bit better about not doing the actual work that you were supposed to do because you watched a good video on how to stop scrolling, or whatever this is going to be called in the end, right? How to learn these protocols. So take notes actively, and then so I can be like no notes, basically, right? In the unhealthy way. So that's the healthy side. The unhealthy side is the passive side, where you scroll just passively, right? And you doom scroll and you comment. If you comment, most people don't. But if you do, then you comment toxic, or you read the toxic comments, because that gives your brain a little kick, and you don't engage. You don't actually go back and forth with the creator, or you don't building community actively there. And this becomes really unhealthy because it ruins your brain. It ruins your attention span. It ruins your enjoyment of life. It ruins your ability to do hard things and to enjoy actual work and actual things. Even going outside doesn't feel so good and appealing anymore, because your dopamine systems, your dopamine levels are so jacked that all that gives you any stimulation, any happiness, any fulfillment is another video, is another hit of CADE, right? So what actually is CADE, and how did I use this idea to lean so much more on the healthy side that I practically eliminated the unhealthy side from my life? I barely do any of this. Very rare that I catch myself doing this, because I'm not perfect. I'm gonna be honest, but I very rarely catch myself doing this, where it used to be hours and hours and hours, and now it's like maybe once a week, when I have a really hard time, or I'm super exhausted, and my old brain's programming kind of takes over, and I'm still working through it, and it's obviously going to be a work in progress. But I'm doing really well compared to how I used to. I have more energy, I have more excitement, life's better, my business is gaining momentum and growing again, and everything's going better. I actually enjoy my relationship a lot more again. So I've been able to eliminate most of the unhealthy stuff by a couple mindset shifts and a couple protocols. So the mindset here in the protocols is really the most important part, because before I tried apps, I tried blockers, I tried having a better routine, I tried having more discipline, I tried being hard on myself. None of it worked because the mindset wasn't correct. So first, there was 2 mindset shifts that really helped me. Okay, so let me just do 2 mindset shifts here for the mindset. The number 1 mindset shift was that I stopped categorizing all of it as social media or content or whatever, right? So I stopped categorizing it all in one, but I created a second category, which is CADE, which stands for Cheap Addictive Digital Entertainment. As you've probably read already behind me on the whiteboard a couple of times, it stands for Cheap Addictive Digital Entertainment. It is because it is engineered to be addictive digital entertainment. And doom scrolling, YouTube videos, porn, all fall into the category of CADE in a little bit of a different way. And that's why it's so powerful and so dangerous, because porn gives you a different pattern in your brain. Scrolling on shorts or on reels for 2 hours gives you a different reward in your brain and wires your brain differently. And watching a 1 hour long or 30-minute long YouTube video gives you a totally different pattern as well. Similar but different. And so that's why we can get stuck in a loop for 6, 7, 8, 10 hours watching this stuff, consuming this stuff, where you jump from porn to shorts to YouTube to porn to shorts to YouTube, and all mixed up all together, maybe video games as well. That's exactly the cycle that I was in, okay? So that was the number 1. Okay, I need to avoid CADE, because guess what? I want to watch YouTube videos because I learn on YouTube videos. So again, like I said, I owe so much of my knowledge and wisdom and progress and amazing results in life to YouTube videos and to being on social media. I don't want to give it all up, but I do want to give up CADE, Cheap Addictive Digital Entertainment, because I had to, and then that blends into, so that was the number 1 mindset shift, the separation. Number 2 mindset shift was really getting clear on there's nothing good, zero good that I am getting from cheap addictive digital entertainment. Zero good. You see, before I used to kind of think to myself or tell myself, hey, it's not that bad, it helps you relax. Or it's not that bad, it helps you stay updated with what's happening in the world these days. Or it's not that bad because you learn new stuff, and maybe you'll learn one little idea that will help you in your business, or it will help you grow. Which can be true, but the trade-off was absolutely ridiculous. And by doing it the way I did it, I didn't actually get those results, because at the end of a 3-hour scroll session, did I feel better? Did I feel more relaxed? No, I felt like shit about myself. I hated it. I felt more exhausted. And I didn't even get enough sleep because I scrolled until 2 a.m. instead of going to sleep to fully rest. Did I get any ideas that I couldn't have gotten in a different way, in a controlled way that didn't corrupt my brain? No, of course not. It was all just random stuff that most of it don't remember, right? And maybe it entertained me a little bit in the moment, which entertainment is good, but not in this form. It's really toxic in this form. So I had to get really clear on there's nothing good that it is giving me, full stop. And after, I was able to start actually applying these protocols that actually help with protecting myself and doing it this way. So protocol number 1 is, I already explained, if I use social media, I use it actively, intentionally, as much as possible on the healthy side, staying completely away, 100% away from the unhealthy side. So if I open Instagram, I only open it to reply to DMs. Rarely, I'll get to that in the tools. I have tools for that, but I'll go to post something, or I will go to go open Instagram stories, but instead of just watching through them, I will DM almost every single person that I scroll through that I want to DM, right? And if there's nobody or nothing that I want to engage with, I close it. If I go scroll on posts, I will do the same thing. I will leave comments. I will engage. I will think about what I just saw. If I'm learning on YouTube, I will take notes. and I'm giving my brain time and space to actually process it and engage with it. So it helps the creator, I build a connection, and I'm more on the healthy side. I completely avoid the unhealthy side. If I catch myself doing this, immediately it's closed. The second part is digital sunrise and digital sunset. This is really the first hour. If you're really busy and you have a super busy schedule that you can't fully moderate, go for at least 30 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever you can for the digital sunrise and digital sunset, meaning a time after you wake up, before you go on any technology, before you go online, and time before you go to sleep, and between you turn off all technology and you go to sleep. For me these days, from 6 a.m. until 7 a.m., it's no technology, no internet, nothing. Sometimes I will take my phone out to the beach on my run if I want to take a photo, or I want to make a video in the morning while I'm out there running, or maybe I want to listen to a podcast that I downloaded while I'm running. I haven't done that in a long time, but that's a lot more on the healthy side. So I tend to be really strict with my digital sunrise. Most often I just wake up, I use my phone as an alarm, but it's on sleep mode, everything else is turned off. And then I leave my phone at home and I go outside, I go for a run or I go for a walk, and I spend usually an hour running and meditating, and then I take a shower, and then I'm prepping for the day. Drink a lot of water, brush my teeth, take care of my body, stuff like this. And then digital sunset, for me, it's 11 p.m. because I tend to go to sleep at midnight as my heart, I'm falling asleep at midnight. So from 11, I turn off all technology. It's not the best, it could be a lot better, but I work with time zones here from Vietnam. So that's what works for me. You gotta find the times and the way that works for you. But digital sunrise and digital sunset will improve your sleep, will improve how you wake up, improve your focus, your energy, everything. And it will lower your anxiety so much because now you're fully resting, you're getting recovery, right? Because your phone isn't letting you not sleep and stuff. And you're not waking up in immediate reaction mode of, oh my gosh, what's happening? Oh, this DM, this Slack thing, or this client wants a refund or whatever. You never know what you're gonna see on the phone when you open it. It might be the end of the world. And now you're immediately stressed. You don't have any morning, and your system doesn't get a chance to prepare for the actual day where you're supposed to be able to be in reactive mode. Right after you wake up, your body and your brain is just not ready for that stuff. And I covered a little bit more of this in another video about the daily energy cycle, what you can do if you feel always tired, and how you can take care of that area of your life. So you can go check that out. Next protocol is no phone and no technology activities and spaces. So I'll give you an example. Bathroom, for example, is a no phone, no technology space. I don't want to have my phone in my bathroom, or it's just not healthy. There's many side effects, by the way. I won't list them all here in this video, but there's many really negative side effects of that. Or in the bed. I don't bring my phone to bed most of the time. Sometimes, there's an exception, but most of the times I will not bring my phone to bed. That's a no phone space, or a no phone activity, right? So I will do for example, I don't watch videos, or I don't go on my phone, especially I avoid CADE entertainment, I avoid entertainment when I'm eating, right? So yes, there is time and space for watching and learning or listening to while you're doing other activities. I would highly recommend to eat more mindfully, refuel your body more mindfully, rather than just trying to be at too many places at different times. Now, most importantly, because you're very likely addicted to some extent, or you're dependent on this to some extent, it's giving you something, it's giving your brain something, you will need to replace it with something. You will need to cope somehow, okay? So you will need to adopt maybe breath work or meditation or something to calm down your nervous system. You see, our brain works kind of like a program, like a computer, and a lot of us have this line of code in our brain that if I feel stress. Stress can be fear, overwhelm, anxiety, any form of discomfort, or if discomfort, right? Then I go on my phone, because the phone is like a digital pacifier, right? If you're feeling super overwhelmed and anxious and you go on your phone and you go swipe on dating apps, or you go on TikTok and you scroll, in that moment while you are scrolling, it pacifies you, it numbs you. You don't feel the stress and the overwhelm so much anymore. That's why we are hooked on it. That's why we do it so much. That's how they literally engineered it to be that way. So we will need to rewrite this code in your brain that if stress, change this to then phone to then breathe, for example, right? So then that way you won't be so dependent on coping strategy on the phone. You replace that coping strategy with something else. Now, keep in mind that it will take time. If you want to learn more exactly about how to replace and reprogram your brain, again, I made a longer video about the RoboHumanist lifestyle engineering that covers this part and how you can walk yourself through it fully. But that's a big part of what you will need to do, right? You will need to replace this. And then almost lastly, I want to tell you about my journey and the withdrawals and side effects that I experienced. But tools, I like an app. I'll give you some really specific tools here for protecting yourself. I like Beeper. Beeper is an app that helps you, that organizes all your messages from Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, whatever, into one app on your phone and on your computer, so that you don't have to open the social media itself, and you don't get distracted by the app, by the content, but you can still be active and reply to messages. I like a tool that's called No Scroll. This basically just blocks the reels and shorts feeds so that I cannot automatically go into scroll in there. Another one that I like to use is sleep mode on my phone, where my phone automatically goes into sleep mode at 11 p.m. until 7 a.m. That most of the features of the phone are turned off except like an alarm and stuff. And those are really the main ones. I think I had one more that I can't fully think of right now, but you can check out my other content and I'll make sure to fully add that. And lastly, I want to leave you with two things. And that's my experience of what happened since I decided to quit CADE and go through this process and start implementing these protocols into my daily life. I learned a lot about the neuroscience of addictions and how it works in the brain and such. And so it is really, really difficult, just so you know. I failed many times, and it's not just like you watch one video about this and it's kind of over. No, I went through pretty difficult withdrawal symptoms, and it was really hard. So now I think it's been over 2 months, depending on when you're watching this, of course. But it's been a longer while since I fully quit CADE. So I can look back in hindsight. I documented the journey pretty well. I started with 30 days. I knew that I'm not going to do only 30 days. I knew that this is a lifestyle change forever, but I capped it at 30 days. So just so my brain could comprehend and do it. So I would recommend you to do 30 days CADE detox. Do not do just a dopamine detox or anything like that, or social media detox, because usually right when you do a detox, you slip back into the old habits like you used to have. So it's really, think of it as a lifestyle change, but the first 30 days are really critical. That's where your brain is most vulnerable to relapsing and slipping into the habits and the addictions fully. So you want to keep that in mind. So for me, it was like I quit, and the first 3 days were magical. It was like, wow, oh my gosh, I'm so happy. My brain feels better. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to see life and this and that. Everything was great. And on day 3 night, day 4 is when like I dipped real hard. So it was kind of like a J curve it was kind of like a curve like this, where I started here and I quit and it got better. Oh my gosh, this is getting so much better. And then it crashed like way, way below. And I ended up here around day 6. I ended up all the way down here where I hated life. Like, I was literally just down here on the floor, laying like on a half beanbag, half on the floor, just like waiting for it to be over, listening to some calming music. I couldn't work, I couldn't do anything else, I couldn't focus, and all I could think about is just, oh my God, I need a video, just one video, please, just one video. That's how my brain was screaming. And my goal for that time was just do not relapse. Whatever you do not relapse. And I spent many hours just laying here, not doing anything productive. After day 6, it started climbing out. And about day 10, I was up here where I felt better than before. My focus already improved. Everything got better. And then it kind of repeated itself over the cycle around day, I would say around day 17, 18, around day 20, let's say, was another big dip. Where it got I felt worse than when I felt on day 10. And then around day 45 is when I noticed another big dip, is when I felt a lot worse than what I felt before. So it kind of moved in these weird waves where I started doing better and feeling better, and then I crashed. And that's how I personally experienced the withdrawal symptoms. And again, I knew it, I was expecting it, now you can too. So I knew that when the crash comes, my only goal is going to be just sit with it, do a coping strategy of meditation, breathing, use music, but also just go through it. Let my brain go through the process of recovering. And I knew it's going to be painful, and it was, and I got through it. So that's how it helped me fully improve. So now you've made it to the end of this video. Hopefully this resonates. Hopefully my journey and my experience and my perspective is inspiring and helpful, and you really want to apply this right now, but maybe you find yourself not having enough motivation, or you don't believe in yourself enough. So that's exactly why I created the CADE calculator, or CADE loss calculator, I think it's called officially on the website. So if you go to the link down below, you will see a link. If you click it, it will send you to a calculator that's completely free. You input your information on like how much time a day you spend on social media, how long you've been using digital entertainment, and in the end, it will show you how much time and money and life you've lost already, and how much are you losing currently, how much you will lose over the next life, like in your lifetime, if you don't do anything about it, if you don't quit. And it will also show you what happens if you limit your usage to like 1 hour a day, how much life you get back. And then it will help you start implementing these kind of principles. If you go onto my main website, onto my app, there is a sub-app that helps you track and walks you through the withdrawal symptoms and the phases in more details. It's called the Anti-CADE protocol, something like that, or Quit CADE. NeuroGuard. Those are the kind of keywords that you want to look for. It's really easy to find. That's the tracker that I use to kind of monitor my symptoms and see where I'm at. It's all tools that I developed myself for myself and for you guys too as well, so that you can get on the same path of using social media and technology in the healthy ways, avoiding the unhealthy ways, and really living life in a beautiful, intentional way. And of course, if you feel like you just don't want to do it yourself anymore and you're done with it, you can also just find a link to book a call with me directly, the RoboHumanist Reboot, that's designed to help calm down and reset your nervous system, kind of audit where you are in life. I'll do it with you personally. I usually take a couple people per week for free with the fee waived, so that we can get your life moving forward with positive momentum, with encouragement from me as well. You don't have to just rely on yourself. So if any of this resonated, please like and comment and subscribe to this channel, subscribe to my newsletter, and let's do this. Let's make the world a better place, because we have a big enemy to fight, CADE. I'll be making more videos, and I'll see you in the next one.